Hello everyone, and welcome to Zoom on Technology. Today, we're talking about something that's on pretty much everyone's mind, artificial intelligence, and what it really means for our careers. You see it everywhere, right? These big, scary headlines that all boil down to this one single question. Is a robot about to take my job? It's a question that can keep you up at night. But what if I told you that focusing on that question, well, it kind of misses the bigger picture. The anxiety is totally real, but the real story, the one that's actually unfolding inside companies right now, is so much more interesting. We might just be asking the wrong question. See, it's not just about jobs vanishing. It's about a massive change in how companies think about growth. And it's all built around this one key idea: decoupling. For forever, the rule was simple. If you want to make more money, you've got to hire more people. But decoupling, that breaks the rule. It uses technology to let revenue soar without having to grow the number of employees at the same speed. Okay, so how do you actually do that? How does a company pull this off? Well, it's definitely not as simple as just going out and buying some fancy new AI software. And this quote from Gartner just nails it. The companies that are going to win in this new era aren't just the ones with the coolest tech. They're the ones who are brave enough to completely rethink how work gets done in the first place. You know, the tech itself doesn't just magically create value. The real game changer is redesigning the work. It's kind of a three-step dance. First, you got to clean house, address that process debt, all those clunky, inefficient ways of doing things that have built up over years. Then, you reimagine the whole thing from the ground up, with AI as part of the team. And finally, you build that new team, a powerful mix of humans and machines working together. So what does a company even look like after this huge transformation? Well, that classic corporate pyramid we all know, it gets a serious makeover. This changes the very shape of the organization. And this slide just illustrates the whole thing perfectly. We're moving away from that old pyramid shape, with a huge base of people doing the foundational, entry-level work. Instead, we're headed towards a diamond. In this new shape, the bottom gets smaller because AI starts handling the routine stuff, and that middle part, it gets way bigger. That's where you'll find the AI-augmented professionals, people using these incredible tools to create massive amounts of value. Now, I know this all might sound a little bit theoretical, so let's look at a real-world example that shows just how powerful this can be. Let's talk about a company called Mitsui Chemicals. Mitsui Chemicals decided to pour over $70 million into completely changing how they discover new materials. And now, get this. This is the real kicker. How much did they spend on the actual AI technology itself? Only $20 million. They spent more than 3 times as much money fixing their broken processes as they did on the shiny new tech. That tells you everything. And the results of that strategy? Absolutely incredible. By focusing on how they work first and then bringing in AI to supercharge it, they doubled the number of new materials they found and made their whole experimentation process 10 times faster. 10 times. And all that speed and innovation turned directly into cash, a whopping $1.12 billion in new revenue. This wasn't a story about trimming the budget. This was about creating a massive amount of new value. And here it is. This is the most important part of the story. So, did they fire all their researchers? Nope. In fact, they more than doubled their team of data scientists to manage this whole new, powerful system. They actually hired more highly skilled people, not fewer. And listen, this isn't some far-off futuristic dream. This is happening right now. In the next 2 to 3 years, basically 100% of the skills needed for any knowledge-based job are going to change. And by around 2028, the data suggests AI will actually be a net job creator. We are in the thick of this transition as we speak. So let's bring it all back home. What does all of this mean for your career? How do you make sure you're part of that growing diamond shape and not the shrinking base? It's really all about shifting your mindset. Stop thinking about just putting in the hours and start focusing on the actual value you're creating. Get your hands on the AI tools that can make you better at your specific job. Be that person in the meeting who says, hey, what if we try doing it this way? And most importantly, double down on the things that make you human. Your creativity, your critical thinking, your ability to solve complex problems. AI can't replace that stuff. It can only make it more powerful. So, the real question we should leave with isn't what AI is going to do to your job. It's what are you going to do with AI to transform how you work and create something amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.